I remember Shreyas now. Okay, Shreyas used to tell me, please record. Okay, good. So here, what happens, right? We used to get the data from different suppliers or vendors, and in order to perform some kind of analytics, right, of these four or 100 suppliers whose price is good and whose delivery. Sometimes there is a trade-off, even if the price is slightly more. Sometimes the delivery time is very important, right? So if there is a delay, right, it is not acceptable. So there is a trade-off there. Okay, so based on different rules, right, what you do is in your report you implement all the rules, even if the price is slightly more than the other vendor, and if the delivery time is less than the set value, set date, right, or set duration, then we are going to offer them. So that you will generate a report from this consolidated data. So here you generate the report. Okay, you generate the report. So what we did using the BI tool, Power BI, right? What we did some kind of data pre-processing. With Power BI also we can do some kind of data transformation. What do you mean by data transformation? Combining all the data and then implementing some business logic, as I told you. So if the price is slightly more, but the delivery time is very critical, right? So those customers deliver it much faster, and also the price is slightly different, right? Even if the price is slightly more, we are okay with that, right? So those kind of business logic you implemented it when you combine these four data, and then you store the data here. So this data will be consumed by your BI tool. So with the BI tool, by looking at the charts and various other visuals like the pie chart or bar chart, stacked bar chart, clustered stacked bar chart, we have different types of charts are there. We'll explain you when you are supposed to use what chart down the line. Okay, so by looking at the chart, it gives us an insight. Hey, whose price is competitive, who is the best supplier, we can determine that with that, right? So with the BI tool, so business is nothing but the set of processes and the tools, the BI tools, using which we can glean the information from this source system in the form of dashboard and reports, right, to gain the actionable insights. With this insight, we can help the management or the stakeholders to make the strategic or tactical decision at the right time. Making the right decision at the right time is very, very critical. If there is a slight delay, certain decisions have to be done in real time. Otherwise, you are going to lose the customer. Take for example, in the case of stock market, we need to take the decision in real time. Intraday trading and all, right? Even if there is a mild delay, right, you might be seeing some price here, but when you try to sell it, right, by the time you sell it, by the time when you hedge it, the price may fall down a little bit. Okay, so hence taking the decision in real time is also very crucial in some use cases. Okay, we'll discuss about those use cases also down the line, don't worry. Okay, so now you understood what is business intelligence. But if you go to the internet and do the search, you will find different definitions around business. But in simple terms, this is what we are in one liner, if I have to say. So you are using the business intelligence tool to consume the data from the transformed data, clean data, using the visuals like dashboard and report. You glean you derive the actionable insights. With that insights, what you do is you will make the strategic or tactical business decisions. This is one of the example for the dashboards. Okay, this is the retail business, right? So these are the KPI, key performance indicators, and here different types of reports we are seeing it, right? Okay, so we discussed about dashboard also. What is dashboard? Everything is a graphical user interface. It will help the management or the C-level executives also, or top management, to get a quick insight, or at a glance, insight, right? It will help them to understand quickly. They don't have time, right? As a CEO, they'll be busy with merging other company, merging, or acquiring other companies. They are very busy because they have 2000 plus stores, or stores are there across USA. So in that case, they are very busy. All they need, they want to see the KPI. This KPI will give them a quick idea about where they stand. And in case of any issues, right, it will give them quickly instant idea, okay, where we need improvement, are there any room for the improvement. Fine, everything is fine. So this is a graphical user interface. Again, we have various features. We have something called slicer. This is called kind of a slicer, okay. You can just by dragging and dropping, right, when you drag this one, what will happen within so and so date, how many number of deals we won, right, what is the size of the the average size of the deal, and revenue per salesperson, everything we can see it, right. So just by dragging, and just by dragging on the right side and on the left side, we will the report will also get refreshed automatically. So along with that, you have some filtering criteria. So for this region, for this country, for this sales team, and between so and so date, how many number of deals got closed. So with this slicer, you are enabling the users, the stakeholders, right, business stakeholders, or the respective stakeholders, to perform some kind of their analysis based on some condition also, right. So Power BI is also a business intelligence tool using which you can develop dashboards. So this is the link. Those of you are yet to download, please go ahead and download it. Okay, anyhow, I will share the link also to you all. But you just go to, let me go here, and Shreyas, I don't know if you have already installed it or not. Let me just download it here. Download Power BI, right? So Power BI desktop. First start with Power BI desktop and download. You can go here, powerbi.microsoft.com, and you can go here, and this is
already installed.
Oh, very good. So those of you installed, fine, okay, no worry. And those of you are yet to install it, please go ahead and install it now, okay. So what you do is, right, you have something called on-premises reporting with Power BI report server. This is also available. Report builder is also available. Power BI mobile, also you can you can download this one also, right. So you can download them. Open Microsoft Score. So not this one, sorry, you don't have to go here. Advanced, you can go here, advanced download options, 58494. Yeah, so this is where you can, you just click download, it will get downloaded. Okay, so what you do is 64-bit. If you have 64-bit, you can use it. If you don't have 64-bit, then you can use this one. See, they are giving 32-bit also. Okay, so next, what you do, click next, and it will get downloaded. That's all. Once you download this, you're all set. Okay, so here for the sake of you people, right, I download 357 MB. The file is 357 MB.
Okay.
And usually, right, we use standard mode only. Okay, on premises data gateway. Anyhow, we can do this one. Yeah, tell me, you're asking something. Yeah.
What about SQL queries?
What is it, Kiran?
SQL queries.
Yeah, we will cover SQL queries also. Don't worry. Okay.
Oh.
Let's go step by step. Okay.
Yeah.
First, we will understand the big picture. Okay, what is Power BI tool? Side by side we will explore SQL queries also. Don't worry. Okay, SQL queries also very much important. When you go for any interview, they'll expect you to be good at that one also. And start download the Power BI desktop, advanced download options, and on-premises data gateway. At this moment, you don't have to do this one. On-premises reporting with Power BI report server, you can download, and report builder, you can download it. Okay, so these two and one, right, these three you can download it. Now you watch my screen. Okay. Now you watch my screen. Okay. So once you are done with this, you don't have to do anything for Power BI service. I will show you, how to use Power BI service on their portal in Microsoft website, right? How to publish the report, everything. I will show you there. And with the free version, I don't think so you will be able to share your reports or dashboards. So, and also we discussed about the architecture. I don't have to repeat this one, right? BI service, you can share your report, it will have admin control, and you can develop dashboards, you can develop reports. And the case of BI gateway, it enables us to refresh these reports, it enables the scheduled data refresh on your report and dashboard, right? That is what it does. And you can enable this one using gateway. And once you are done this, right, any user can access via different mode. And also we discussed about all these things. Probably I will share my video. Somehow some problem happened, but anyhow I have other video, I'll send you that. You can watch my video regarding the each component of this one. Okay. And also we discussed about the data modeling part little bit, right? Do we need to download Power Desktop? Yes, we need to download Power BI Desktop. Yes, correct. Upinder, you need to go to look here. I'll just share this link to you, right? So
I have Power BI desktop, but anything else we need to download?
The report builder. You download report builder, and also you can download this one also, Power BI report server also. Let it be there. Okay, that's all. Okay, you don't have to download anything else. Report builder and report server and data gateway also. Yeah, you can download the data gateway also. So that's what I showed you, right? You can use standard mode. Okay, you can download the standard mode. So gateway installed exe PBI. Fine, that's all. Anyway, I'll share this link also, right? In the interest of others, we will proceed with the subsequent topics. Okay, today this is what we discussed, right? Data modeling, right? So you should be good at data modeling also in terms of establishing the relationship between one table to another table. And also I discussed about star schema. This is a fact table surrounded by various dimension tables. If you have the dimension tables surrounded by your fact table, you can do slicing and dicing. What do you mean by slicing and dicing? You can take any combination of the dimensions in conjunction with the fact tables fact values. You can generate the report. So this fact table will have the key of all these columns: customer key, category key, product key, calendar key. And also it will have the fact. What do you mean by fact? The numerical values: units sold, discount, and the sales, right? Those values are called numeric values. The numeric values are all called fact. That is also the reason why we call that as a fact table. Fact table will contain the combination of both dimension tables key values. Along with that, it will have the facts in it. Don't worry, I will show you everything with the data, so that you will be able to understand very clearly. But at a high level, right, what is fact table, what is dimension table, you should be able to understand. But in some cases, right, I'll discuss this a little later. Okay, so we know what is the licensing and all we discussed. Power BI is a free one, and Power BI Pro is $10 per month per user. You can use it, and with premium you will have all the the premium licensing will support both Power BI Pro plus advanced features like artificial intelligence features, right? Machine learning, those kind of things. You can use it with Power BI Premium. Power BI Premium is used for enterprises. You cannot use Power BI the free version to deploy it on your production. It is against the law. Okay, it's a copyright issue. Okay, so if you wanted to, for learning purpose, we can use Power BI, right? If you have small reports, if you want to do it for personal thing, right, you can, but not for business purpose. BI Pro, yes, BI Pro, whatever you do with Power BI, the same thing you can do with BI Pro also. But with the Power BI Pro, you can share the reports and dashboards, everything. Okay, bulk sharing is also possible with this one. Okay, and even on premises is not free. I was talking about report server, right? It is not free. It is completely chargeable. Though you can download it, we will see if that works or not, right? So, but we do not know the older version. They were not. See what happened in the previous version of Power BI. We used to share the reports or dashboards to other users also, but in the recent version they disabled that one. That option is not available with Power BI. Likewise, who knows? Maybe in the report server also they would have given privilege. We will check with that also. Okay. So next what we will see is we will take a look at this one. So for example, as I told you, we receive data from various source systems, right, in different formats, different files. Excel file, I'm getting some data, and SAP system, I'm getting some data, and JSON. I need to use all these 6 source system file to combine, right? Combining by these 6 source system files, I need to generate some reports and dashboards. So in that case, what we do is my source system itself, right? 3 files are available inside my premises office, and 3 other different data or the source files are available on cloud. Okay, so you need to take these 6 files from cloud as well as from your local server, and then what you need to do is you need to combine these things into a data set. Okay, we need to combine all these things as I showed you in the first PowerPoint, right? First slide, you need to combine everything in a single one. That is called your data set. For example, I'm talking about this one. So this is the one. This is called your data set. Okay, so data set. Once you create a data set which is nothing but the data model, okay, you need to take this thing and then see sometimes what will happen, certain columns sent by the customers are not helpful. Okay, it is not useful. You can remove certain columns, and also you can combine some data with some other tables also, right? So once you combine all these data, you need to model the table also, right? You need to model the data. That is nothing but I call that as a data set. This data set holds not only these files and other lookup tables also. Okay, and once you develop this data set, which is nothing but the data model, the next step is what we do is we create reports. Once you have the data model, you can create any number of report, right? Any type of report you can develop it. So for example, report 1, report 2, report 3, different types of reports you can generate it. Once you develop the report, you can with the help of the report also you can develop dashboard. You can use the report also to create a dashboard. Okay, you can create a dashboard. Supposing, let's say you have 2 different data set. Okay, you have 2 different data set 1. So you combine all the things, I call it data set 1, and I have another data set. Okay, and with this data set I can generate one or more than one report. With this data set I can generate another report, but I cannot generate report for whatever the report I generated, right? For the using this data set, I cannot generate the same report using the second data set. Second data set is different from first data set. It's all mutually exclusive. Okay, so in that case what will happen is, for this data set, whatever the report I created, right? So or the report whatever I generated, for that the data which I used it were available in this data set only. Data set 2 is for different purpose, right? For that, with that data set 2 I create another report. Now the question is, with these 2 data set, right, using the report also we can generate a dashboard. That is what I said. Is there any way I can combine the reports generated using the data set 1 and data set 2 to generate a dashboard? Yes, it is possible, but you need to include something called workspace. For this you need to use a I just, if I say everything, you will not be able to understand. 1 second, let me just put it here. This is, certain things you need to know, because in the interview they will ask you. You have something called Excel file, and you have Excel file, and you have SAP, you have another source system, and you have something called JSON file, and you have something called Workday, and you have something called Oracle, ERP, or right, Oracle applications, and then you have something called CRM, right? You have these 4 files, right? So what you are doing is you have 4 different sources, and you are creating the data set here. You are creating the data, right? For all these things you need to combine this, and you need to merge. So what I will do is I'll merge it. This I call this as a data set. I call this as a data set. Okay, the next step is what I'm going to do is, so with this data set I'm going to create report 1. For the report 1 I use the the field, the columns, right? Some columns from data set, and for report 2 I have used another set of columns from data set 2, and I have generated another report also. For this report also I have used some set of columns from this data set. This data set is nothing but your data model. Once you have the data model, for example, the data model, you have 10 tables. All these tables are related. We created a relationship amongst the tables. So in that case, what will happen is, once your tables are available with the data and columns, right? So based on the requirement from different stakeholders, you can create different reports. Fine. So this is fine. So far so good. The next step is with sometimes what will happen, right? To create a dashboard, you don't have to use the data set. You can directly use the report itself. You can use probably report 1 and report 3 to create, because certain fields, whatever you used it in report 1 and report 2, some set of columns that you used it here and here, right? You can combine it and you can generate the dashboard, right? And I have something else like this. I have another data set. The interview, they will give you like this kind of scenario. You should be able to answer it correctly, because these kind of questions are screening questions. With this they will understand whether you really worked in real time or not. So with this data set, right, data model, you create another report. With this, now the question is, can I combine the report 4 with report 3 and report 1 to create another dashboard, right? Like a dashboard, or new dashboard, right? So in that case, it is not directly possible, right? What you can do is, you have something called workspace 1 and workspace 2. So I'm going to insert a new column here. So what you need to do is, you need to create a workspace for these 3 reports. For example, you are using these 3 reports to generate a dashboard. So in that case, right, this is called a workspace 1 and workspace 2. So the workspace creation is possible only in Pro, licensed version. With free you cannot do it. I would suggest, right, you can go for Pro version, licensed one. Per month $10 only they are charging it per head, right? So what you do is, now with the combination of these 2 workspace, you can create a dashboard, single dashboard. This is also possible. Got it? So to combine a data set, right? Combining the data set is not possible. You can generate the reports from various data set. To combine the various data sets, set of columns, right? Group of columns, you want to combine it from various data set. You can create workspace and workspace 2. With the help of workspace and workspace 2, you can create dashboard, right? So any of all these things are there in my study material. You don't worry. That also will share it. The link, everything, right? Once I create the username, password, everything, will share it there. The next one is, what is the difference between SSIS, SSRS and SSAS? But most of them, when you see, when they inquired for the training, they asked me, do I have to learn SSIS also along with Power BI? Because when I looked at the job requirements, they were asking, in the case of Naukri, they were asking about, SSIS, Power BI and Tableau also. Multiple skill sets are always good. But SSIS is very much helpful in terms of performing extensive data transformation. Okay, with Power BI, it's you can do transformation, data transformation, everything. But still, with SSIS, you can do extensive, complex data transformation. You can do it. So this is how in reality we do it like this. Okay, in real time, what most of them they do is they use a ETL tool. So SSIS is an ETL tool. So what we do is we use the ETL tool like SSIS, or you can use Informatica also. I don't know how many of you are. SSIS is an ETL tool. Okay, this we will be using it to process the data and transform the data, right? So you will have the processed data using SSIS software. You can process the raw data in the good format. Okay, so with this processed data we'll be using the Power BI. In the case of complex data transformation, it will be like this. For ETL, Power BI is kind of a reporting tool, right? So using ETL, you process the source system data, and then you store the processed clean data in this place. So this one will be used by the Power BI users. All they do is they go to the processed data database, okay, wherever the database, right, whichever database has the processed data, they consume it. But so now what we do is with Power BI, they introduced various features. As part of transformation tab itself, we can perform any kind of transformation. But any complex one, still you can do it with SSIS. With SSIS, it will be robust and it will be faster compared to and a lot of features are available with SSIS when it comes to ETL. That's what I mentioned. SSIS is an integration server. It is an ETL tool. SSRS is a reporting service. Power BI is also a tool used for reporting and dashboarding. Okay, mainly for dashboarding. Queries. You were asking about queries. Kiran will cover about queries also. Don't worry. Queries, you should be knowing it. Without queries, you cannot do anything. So in Power BI, what they did, they have something called DAX, data analytic expression. Okay, so they are basic. This is nothing but the Excel formula, right? The Excel, we use some formulas, right? It is somewhat similar. Look here, something. If I want to combine the first name and last name, two columns into a single column, right? So I'll have to use ampersand and double quote ampersand. That's all. You can combine it, like how we do it in Excel, right? And for example, if you want to perform some kind of calculation, total sales into 1.05. If I want to convert it into currency, right? So 1.05 into total sales, right? To calculate it, it will calculate it and then it will convert into currency. Okay. So it calculates a 5% sales increase. This is the one it will show you, right? So you can use DAX to perform some kind of you can do some kind of formula, right? You can calculate some values based on some formula using DAX, like how we do it in Excel. So DAX offers a library of more than 200 functions and operator and constraints. Okay. As I told you, as for data transformations, we need to clean the data with duplicate records. If you have anything, you need to remove it. So when do we get duplicate data? Can someone tell me when do we get the duplicate data? So in the interview, they'll ask you what kind of challenge that you posed it, right from sourcing to the deployment of the report. Sourcing, right? We received the data, but unfortunately the ETL jobs, it loaded two times in the same table. Ideally, the source file should get loaded in my data warehouse or database one time. But mistakenly what happened, since my job got failed due to various reasons, my operation guy restarted the same ETL job one more time, mistakenly or unknowingly or knowingly restarted the same job. What happened? Two times, the same record, same set of data got loaded in a table, duplicate, right? You need to make sure that you're not supposed to duplicate records. Duplicate records can mislead you. For example, if you duplicate the same invoice value more than once, what will happen? It will, when you see the report, it will mislead you. It will make you to think, yeah, my sale is far better now, right? Actually, it was a duplicate of the record. Remove those kind of duplicate records. In case of any missing values, right, you need to address those missing values by performing data imputation. And in case of any dirty data, what do you mean by dirty data? The format is not clear. In the case of sales column, I have a dollar along with the values, numeric values. Hence the data type got it's actually the sales column supposed to be numeric value, right? Because of a dollar mentioned somewhere, right, it got converted as a string data type. Hence we need to remove that dollar and comma and all. We need to convert as a number data type. Okay, so this kind of and some cases what happened, right, we post in one project, there was some special character, somehow it got mixed up with the numeric value. We tried, in all sort to try to fix that issue. We did a lot of, analysis. Still, we were, out of clue. So why that numeric value column become a string data type? So what we did, right, we copied everything to Notepad++, and we said somewhere we found some special character was mixed up with the numerical value. So you need to clean the data and you need to format the data, right? In some cases, what will happen, they'll be using, for example, state, right? State, they say Ohio State, OH. Some people, they say full name, they type it Ohio. The clerical people, right, they enter the billing section, they enter OH. Some people, they say Ohio, something like that, right? So you need to make you need to bring in some kind of data governance. So you need to format everything in a single thing, okay? And then lookups, we have to, this is very important step, right? You need to do a lookup on the dimension table before you upload the dimension key into a fact table. And then aggregation. Aggregation is very important. You take any analytics project, aggregation is must, right? So most of the analytics report, the aggregations are very important. That doesn't mean all the reports aggregation should be there, but majority of the reports it will have an aggregation. Like I said, right, the source system, not only we clean the data, we combine the data, and also we aggregate the data. The process data is also, right, aggregate data. For example, region wise, product category wise, product wise, what is the sales, how many units we sold. So the number of units sold, for example, we sell 4 items in each category. We have 3 categories, 3 into 4, 12 items we are selling it. 12, only 12 records should be there. Maybe, we would have sold it to these 12 products to 1 million customers. But when I do aggregation, right, when I summarize it, right, it should give only 12. Okay, product A, how many items we sold. Product B, how many items we sold. Consolidate everything, okay. Per day, let's say, product A we sold, morning 5, evening 5, night 5. So I don't want 5, 5, 5. We add all these 5s, all these 3 5s, 15. So product A, we sold 15. Product B, we sold 20. This is called aggregation or summarization. Don't get me wrong, I go step by step. I go in a very layman point of view. Okay. Any questions so far? Somebody was asking something, right? I don't know. Right. So yeah. So as part of the ETL process, we do the aggregation also, right? Aggregated data, so that when you use your Power BI report to generate the report with aggregated values, right? You don't have to do group by everything. Everything has been done already. All they need to do is they have to simplify the query against this one. The report will show instantly to them. Okay, in lesser time it will generate. So if you aggregate all the values, quarter wise, product wise, category wise, brand wise, and quarter wise, right? If you have already summarized the value, then all you need to do just simply fetch the summarized value and plot it in the charts. That's it. So as part of the processing, we do aggregation also. That is very important step. As part of the data transformation, these are the basic 4 steps that we do it. Please remember it. Interview, they'll ask you, so what kind of data transformation you did it? As part of data transformation, what are the things that you did? How much time you spent? Can you tell me how much time you spent in data transformation? How much time you spent in designing the dashboard or report? Right? Majority of the time, you believe me or not, we spend with data transformation only. 55 to 60% of the time we spend with data transformation only. In the case of medium and complex projects also, we spend 60% of the time in data transformation. Remaining 40% of the time we spend in designing dashboard and reports. That's all. Okay. And visualization, obviously, once you do the data transformation, everything visualization, we use various charts and everything. And anyhow, I'm not going to run through all these things. Okay. What we will do is we will directly jump into enough theory. We'll jump into the desktop, Power BI desktop. So this is what Power BI is. What you do is, right, you go here. Once you have done the installation of the dashboard, right, the desktop, right, your Power BI, if you type it, you will find something like this and click open. It will open like this. Okay. This is what your Power BI desktop. But if you wanted to make sure that, but whenever you use Power BI desktop, make sure that you are using the latest version of that one. Okay. If you click help and if you go and check about, it will show you the version. Okay. And September 2021. Now it is October, right? So every once in a month or so they will release new release for the same version or so. Okay. And this is the version 2.97.86. Sometimes they'll ask you the version also, which version of Power BI desktop you are using it. In the interview they'll ask all these questions. Okay. Roughly if you say 2.97, but I don't remember the release and all. This is kind of 8.863.0 is kind of a release. But 2.97 is the version, kind of a version. Okay. And main version. Okay. 2.97 is the version. They will ask you in the interview. Okay. And you are saying you worked in MySQL server. Can you tell me the version of your MySQL? You said you worked in the SQL server. Can you tell me what is the version of the SQL server? Whatever the skill set that you put it in your bio, make sure that you are specifying the version also. You should be knowing the version. Even though you don't specify it there, you should be knowing the version also. Okay. With that itself they will understand. Let's say you are putting, you have 3 years experience or 2.5 years experience in your resume, right? And don't put don't tell them you worked in this version. Okay. So you need to check in 2020 or 2019 what version was there. Right? You need to remember that also. You have to remember some extent. They will ask you that one also. Okay. So how long you have been working in this version? They intentionally ask this one. Right? It's kind of a ragging. Right? They do ragging. Right? So you need to be prepared. You're not supposed to say 2.97. I've been using it for the last 3 years. You are gone. Right? Every once in a month or every once in 2 months, right? They keep on releasing new releases, new versions. And you need to be familiar. And also when you at the time of interview, you should be prepared for that also. Fine. So okay, now this is what my Power BI desktop. So in the Power BI desktop, we have something called Power Query Editor, and right, and we have some we can do data modeling, everything. Okay. Right. So as I told you before, you start with any tool, make sure that which version you are using, not using the recent version or not. Right. So that is very important. That is what we checked it. It is September. It is fine. Another reason is, right, if you use the latest version, they would have included many new functionality, many new features, right, that are available with your recent version. So that is also the reason why I urge you all to check which version of the Power BI that you are using it or installing it. So almost every month, right, Microsoft release a new update. See, the point is, how will you make sure that a new version is available or not? How will you know that? Yeah, right. You can see the version, but how will you know? The latest. You just go and do Googling. That's all, right? And Microsoft website itself. You go and see it, right? They have some blog, Microsoft blog. One second, I'll just show you. Microsoft.com. See, look here, US something, US and blog something will come here, blog. So if you go to the blog, they would have mentioned month wise, right? So or simply we will do one thing, Power BI, different version, Power BI blog. Updates and news. Look here. So when you go, I correctly it. Blog correct. Powerbi.microsoft.com. If you go here on the right side, you will find Power BI, Power BI embedded. If you click Power BI, let me do one thing. If you click Power BI, so you will find something like articles by date, October 2021. If you click this one, you will find something like this, right? So you Power BI order and Power BI streaming. What are the new features they introduced it? Everything you can find it in this blog, right? Feature summary. Look here, October 2021 feature summary. What are the features they introduced it in October? See, look here, reporting. In the reporting, they introduced heat map layer, Azure Maps visual, okay, and modeling. They use switch performance automation, bitwise functions in DAX, and data connectivity. So look here, this kind of things, right? Preview also they've given. Okay, you just go and check it, right? And this way you can make sure that you are keeping yourself up to date. Sometimes they will ask you what are the new features Microsoft introduced, right? But not, you can still go ahead with the version that you installed it. Okay, see, we could see only the September version of the software only, right? When we download, we could see only that one only. You can tell, okay, but you don't have to tell this, but at least if you know what features they introduce at a high level, that is more than sufficient. So the next one is when we start work on Power BI desktop, we need we need what? In order to work on the Power BI desktop, we need data. Without data is the backbone. Without data, you cannot do anything, right? But raw data you cannot use it, but most of the time we receive the raw data only. It is our responsibility to convert the raw data into processed data. Right, so what's here, if you go look here, right, in this one, this is called ribbon, okay, home ribbon. When you click the home ribbon or when you click the insert ribbon, you can find different options here. In the home ribbon, you can find something like, get data. When you click get data, you will find a lot of options here. When it comes to reporting, is very easier, and even when it comes to dashboard, also very simple one. But when you start using the drill through, drill across, you should be knowing what is drill up, drill down, drill across, drill through. Those things and all, you need a lot of help from us. Okay, people like us. Okay, if you look here, file, what type of files it supports? Excel and text CSV and XML, JSON, and PDF, Parquet, and SharePoint folder also, and database. What kind of databases it supports? Various databases. Look here, SQL Server database, Teradata, MySQL database, IBM DB2, Oracle database, like different RDBM is supposed. And then Power Platform, Power BI datasets. For example, you want to combine more than 2 reports, or you take the data from the data reports, right? You can go here and pick up here. And Azure also, you have something called Azure SQL database. If you want to access the data from the cloud SQL database, you can do it. Likewise, various sources are available even for online sources. Like for example, you have SharePoint is available, and also you have something called Google Analytics. For example, I will show you. See, for my website, I have a Google Analytics enabled. If I click continue here, it will ask you the username and password for your website. So you, let's say if you own a website, you would have enabled Google Analytics. With Google Analytics, you'll be able to understand how many number of hits happened for which pages. Page wise you can find out. And for example, this is my website, the previous one, all website data you can find out. See, I connected to Google Analytics already. I used my username and password. I connect to Google link, and for example, I need to take these all these values columns. Look here, so this has no values in it, but had I enabled this one, I Google Analytics would have captured the values here, because I did not give any advertisement. Okay, and AdSense. So these are all the Google Analytics related data. You can load this data. If you have a data in it, right, you can load it in the sense you can load see, this is what data I'm loading here. What data? Online data, right? You can use the data from the Excel sheet, and also you can you can generate you can extract the data from online also. See, I don't have the data locally. Everything is there in my Google Analytics. Google provides Google Analytics feature. Once you once you launch your website, and if you want to see how well how many number of users accessing your website, traffic, what is the traffic to your website, everything, right? So once you enable Google Analytics to your website, right, so it captures all the data. So you need to connect, and then once you need to give the username and password. Already I gave that's my Google Gmail password. Okay, with that I'm able to log in here. Since I already enabled this one, see, I can pick up the value from here also. Not only you can use the Excel sheet, you can use JSON, and even online also you can pick up the data. Various options are available with the Power BI desktop. Okay, and now what we will do is we will take one simple file. Okay, I'm going to use some Excel file, Excel workbook or something. Click Excel workbook, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to take something like Walmart sales, something like that. It will take for a while. It depends on your computer. Okay, laptop capacity, memory. Okay, so look here, I have various tables are there, right? I have various tables are there. So what I do is, various columns are there, right? Various columns are there in this Excel sheet, and what I do is I select whichever columns that I need it. Okay, all these. Sometimes you may not need all the columns, right? So what you do is you don't select those columns that are not required for your report. So what you do is sales order and all the things you can select it here. So ideally what we do is, right, we select all the columns, but in the case of query editor, right, you can go and remove the columns that are not important to you. So look at here, you can see the data also here, right? So region, country, so you can see all the data here. One second, sales territory data. This is sales territory data. Oh, sorry, this is related to sheet, each sheet. So this data file, this file has different sheets. Single Excel sheet has multiple sheets in it. Look here, the preview is evaluating. If the volume of the data is very high, and especially when you connect to the cloud, and if you are extracting millions of records, it will take longer time to process. Okay, it depends on your network bandwidth, and especially when you use a connector, it will take longer time to fetch the data. And if you are, even in the case of, see, in this case, right, one second, I just let me cancel it. Here I'm going to select reselect. Sometimes, right, it will you need to close it and restart it. It will take unnecessarily longer time. And also make sure that you closed all the unused files. Yeah, customer has more data in it, it seems. One second, Walmart sales. What? You can open the Excel sheet also and see it, right? What columns, how many tabs are there, how many sheets are, sub-sheets are there. It takes some time, even with this, right? It takes longer time. That's what, the more the data, the performance will be, little bit slower. Look at, we have different sheets are available, right? We have sales data and date data, product data, customer data is available. And 1 second, I'll just show here sales data, right? So these are the things are visible there, customer data. And if you look here, right, we have a lot of records are there. Yeah, close to almost 18,000 or something like that, 29,000, 30,000. Even for 30,000 it takes a lot of time. Maybe some other issue with my system. Look here, product table, what products are there, right? I don't want to, I want to select some specific table, sales and sales order, right? So all these things. For example, I'm not going to select everything. I'm going to select only the sales table or sales order. Okay, I'm going to select only the sales order. Or better, let me select sales, because sales has more meaningful data in it, right? Reseller key, everything, more data is there. So when I, you can see two buttons here. One is load, other one is transform data. When you use load, all these fields will get displayed on the right side of your this one. So you have visualization. So in your 1 second. So let me just, so either you can use load or you can use transform data. Before I show you here, right, when I press transform data, what will happen, you will see. It takes some time. Sales order evaluating, sales completed. It takes some. So this is, it opens up the Power Query editor. You can see two queries. What are these two queries? Two queries are nothing but two different tables, or two different sheets. In our case, two different sheets or two different tables. But it calls as a queries. Okay. So now I am in the sales sheet related data, and I am just looking at this data using the transform. Right. You have some different options: transpose and detect data type. Everything is available, right? And everything is available, and also you can extract the length of this one. All these, whatever functions that are supported as part of transform, query transformer, right? You can do it. So what I did, I just selected the Excel file. When I selected the Excel file, when I tried to open it, I was able to see two buttons. One is load, other one was, what was that? Other one was transform. Instead of loading that, I just transformed it. Usually what we do is we transform the data first, and then we load the transformed data in our Power BI desktop. For example, I don't need all these columns, right? I do simple transformation. What I do is sales order line key, reseller key, customer key, order date key is there, order quantity, unit price, discount price, standard product cost. For supposing I don't need these things, order line key and all, I don't need it. I can remove this column. Reseller key also, I don't need it. I can remove it, because my manager wanted me to generate a report which involves the product cost, unit cost, selling price and cost price, right? And then total sales, and between so and so date, right? So customer key also, customer key, I don't need it. So whichever columns you don't need it, you can remove it, right? So what you do is, if you want to rename the column, you just select it here. See, what we are doing is part of the data transformation. As part of data transformation, whichever columns are not interest to us, we can remove it, we can delete it. And also, for example, if you wanted to rename it, product name, something like that, okay, meaningful name, okay, in this case it is a product key is the correct one. Or if you want to give more meaningful name, you can rename it like this, okay. And then what you do is, when you look at for example, and you want the cost, product standard cost to be in the whole number, right? You can convert from a decimal number to whole number. You can convert the type here. Look at everything became whole number. This is part of data transformation. We remove the unnecessary columns. We renamed the column name with a more meaningful name, and we changed the data type. So now we did some kind of transformation. This is a very bare minimal transformation we did it. Look here, change the type. When I change the type, right? When I change the type of this one from decimal to whole number, it shows, see what we did, it shows removed columns, renamed columns, and changed type 1. That is what it shows on the applied steps. As part of the applied steps, you can see it here. Okay, and when you scroll here, and then when you are done with this, right, so what we do is click the home ribbon and then close and apply. When you click this one, what it does is it load the transformed data in your desktop. So when you close and apply, instead of simply loading the data blindly, we have chosen, we discarded the columns that are not relevant, not required to us, right, which are not interest to us. Then we renamed the column and we changed the data type also. With this transformed, we need to work on this transformed data. So how do I do that? Go to home ribbon and click apply and close. So now it will upload the transformed data here. Before you load the data, you go and do the transformation. Click the transform button and see what you can do. In case you don't need all the columns for your analysis or report or dashboard, remove unnecessary columns. Those columns that are not relevant to you can remove it. I don't know why it takes longer time. Usually it will not take this much of time. Yeah, done. Right, so once it is done, you can see the columns that are there in that thing, right? You can see it on the right side. So 2 sheets, we were using it. That is the reason why it took longer time. Ideally I should have used single thing. Okay, look here in the sales one, right, I removed certain columns. Okay, I removed those columns that are relevant to my report. Does that mean those columns that I removed got removed permanently from my Excel sheet? No, right, it will not remove the columns permanently from this Excel sheet. Okay, so instead, right, it will remove it from the memory. So whatever the data you read it using Power BI, right, in the Power BI get data, right, when you use Excel workbook and when you read it, you have multiple sheet, whichever sheet that you used it, right, and that sheet you applied the transformation by removing the columns that are not relevant to, renaming the column, applying the changing the data type. That data you loaded it here. So these changes, you removing the column, changing the data type, renaming the column, everything happened only in the memory, not in the Excel file, physical file. It is not going to disturb your Excel file at all. Like in Python, we have something called pandas data frame. Okay, there also we do like this. Okay, it loads the data in the memory. So these data are in the memory. Whatever changes you do it is all happening. It is getting affected only in the memory. And okay, now the question is, okay, whatever the data transformation I did it, can I write it back to my Excel? You cannot write back, right? So write back is not possible. Whatever the changes you made it, right? For example, you converted the data type of a specific column as a whole number, right? Can I store it that value into my Excel sheet? Or can I rewrite my Excel data with the changed one here? You cannot do it. You understood? Is it clear or not? And also if you look at here, right, so you have something called report and you have something else called data modeling. Okay,
Sorry for the interrupt.
yeah,
You transform the data, right?
yeah,
And where it is going to be stored in the application.
yeah, it is there in your report itself. Okay, you store the data in your, it's in the memory only, it is stored in the memory only. Okay, it is in the application. Yeah, it is there in your application, correct. Right, so you find 3 different buttons here. One is for report, other one is for your this is nothing but data, to view the data. Supposing if I want to view the data of sales order, you select it here If you select it here, the data related to sales order, you can find it here. If you select sales here, right, sales related data, you can see it. To view the data inside the Power BI desktop itself, it is possible. Instead of opening the Excel file, right, you can see it here because you transform the data. The transformed data is available in memory. That is there in your application, this application, right? You can see it here. You can see the transformed, thing here. Okay, so all the unnecessary columns we removed it, and which column we converted as a whole number. Anyone, Shreya, you remember it? Which column we converted as a whole number? Okay, this is the one, right? Sales order.
I think it's in the sales order, sir.
Yeah, sales order, right? Very good. Yeah, sales order line, right? I think in sales only I did it. Fine. So anyhow, we did it right. So this one will help you to see the data here, and this is the one will help you to see the data model here, right? So this is the table sales and sales order. Are there any relationship exists between these two, right? So we need to establish a relationship between these two table, right? Sometimes you will have a standalone table, but in general you will not have a standalone table. You'll be using the tables that are relational. Okay, that's the reason why we call it relational database. Okay, you need to establish the relationship between one table to another table, right? Only then your reports will be reliable. Okay, right. So look here on the right side, you will find all the fields related to each subsheet, right? So sales, what are the columns are there, and sales order, what are the columns are there, you can see it here. And this is for visualization, which kind of chart that you want to generate and what kind of filter you can apply it. Everything is possible now. We have something called the axis, values and analytics also available. That I will show you. It's already 10:13. Okay, so what I will do is we will try to little bit speed it up. If the situation demands, we will have to increase the time also, right? I will not go literally by 1 hour, probably 1 hour 15 minutes, sometimes 1 hour 30 minutes also, right? So in the interest of you guys, but anyhow, I know if I have to cover it in the morning time, right? Morning time you will be busy, but we will see to that. Okay, I'll try to speed it up a little bit instead of going, but initially let us go in a slow pace. Okay, no point in rushing. Let's go in a slow pace, and gradually we'll increase the pace. If required, we will increase it to 1.5 hours also, so that we'll cover more, because in the interview they'll expect more and more, not like those days. Okay, so that's the reason I suggest you to spend more time also if the situation demands, right? We will see to that. Okay, or we will increase the number of days also, right? Instead of increasing number of days, probably half an hour we'll increase it. Is that okay for you all, right? We will see how it goes. Okay, so I will see how fast you people are picking up. Initially we'll go in a slow pace, right? And then this is all the visualization, right? We will see how, for example, if I wanted to see the sales amount, right? If you select this one, right? You select this one, and if you put it here, 1 second, sorry, sales amount, look here, it will take some time. Look here, by default it will use this kind of chart. Okay, and here what I am going to do is I am going to use, so we don't have date column here, due date key, order date key is there, right? So let me do, key will not be helpful. I need to create a calendar. Okay, date dimension. So once you create the date dimension, if you put it here, right, date wise, month wise, you can create a hierarchy also, so that you can do drill down, drill up. For example, what is drill down? First it will show you year wise. When you will find some icon also here. Okay, if you double click on that, for example, I have another basic dashboard here. I already created this very simple one. I'll just open it. I think I should close all the unnecessary files. I don't want to save this one. Okay, anyhow, right, I want to open the new one. Anyhow, we'll take one, the full data set, complete data set, the one I showed you, right? With that demo data, we will see tables and everything we'll see. Okay, we'll try to build everything from this scratch. This has already been created, very simple one. The designing and all, yeah, anybody can do, design, but only thing is the logic, you need to understand very clearly. Okay, that is the whole idea here. Look here, this is what I'm talking about. Drill up, drill down, and here something called go to the next level in the hierarchy, and this is expand all the look here you have profit by month, right? If I select this one, quarter and year, right? Say okay, year, top level, look, this is a hierarchy. In the hierarchy, one second, here, right, one second, here in the case of hierarchy, see here you have calendar, right? This is the one I'm using it, and here look here, this is the one, year, quarter, month, a day. In a year you have quarter is a subset of year, and month is a subset of the quarter, right? And day is a subset of month. So now it shows the quarter. So next, if I go to the next level, what will happen? Quarter to month. And if I go to the next level, it has to show in date wise, right? It has to show in day wise. So since I don't have much data here, it is not showing it. For example, if I go up, what will happen? It shows the month. If I go up, what will happen? It has to show quarter. If I go up, year. So here I have 2013 and 2014. We could see that, right? So likewise, this is what drilled up. If you want to go drill down also, it is possible. So you need to define the hierarchy like this. Okay, you have an hierarchy like this. Once you create the hierarchy, right, you can do it like this. So this is your quarter. Next level is month. You understood, right? Next lowest level, May, the month level and day level also. It will show day. We don't have much data, it seems. Yeah, month we have data. Month, if you drill up, it will go to the next higher level. So it's kind of a level, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. From month to quarter it goes. So per year we have 4 quarters, right? 4 quarters, each quarter what is. So this is what drill up, drill down, and all these things. Okay. And if you click here, you will find the data for this one. Yeah, here I used only one Excel sheet. So this is the one I created the calendar here. So in this case, I created a new measure. We have some new measure. Anyhow, I don't want to dump everything in a single day. Let's go step by step. Initially, we'll go in a slow pace, okay, and then gradually we'll step up the pace. All right? Does it sounds good? Any questions? Kiran, you were asking something, right?
What are the timings?
What is it?
What are the timings?
Timings, yeah, we will morning we will confirm it. So night we have separate plan. Other people also they requested, so for them they separate, and for you people morning we'll have it. But I would request, since to tomorrow being festival, right? So what we will do is we will have it tomorrow alone in the night time, okay, for all. And this Saturday onwards, Kiran, we will have a separate session for you morning. That is finalized. Tomorrow only, please adjust with me.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. And Saturday for you and Rakesh, right? And others also planning to join. For them, morning. So those of you who want to take up morning, the timings are between 9 to 10 a.m. Those of you who want to take up the night batch, right? That is also going to be 9 to 10 p.m. Supposing you miss out the morning session, you can join the night batch. All right. Couple of other guys also, they requested the morning batch, and other people they requested night batch. They'll be joining shortly. Okay. So any of this Saturday it is confirmed, Kiran and Rakesh, okay, for you people, right? And Puneet, you can also plan it accordingly. What happened? Rakesh dropped off. I don't see him here. Okay, he joined earlier. I don't know why he dropped off. So anyhow, not a problem. Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions? Nothing, right? Fine. So what I will do is I will share this today's video also, right? And you can have a look. And also, I have other pre-recorded videos for the Power BI, and I have two different courses. One is for advanced level DAX. These are pre-recorded videos, right? Once you enroll for this, already you are enrolled, okay? So if you can share your email ID, I will create the login credentials to you all. You can start work on that also. So there also you have a lot of exercise files, a lot of videos. You can start go through it. And now importantly, whatever I cover it on a daily basis, at least for next 2 to 3 weeks, you watch my video, and then you can watch other videos also. So that can help you to enhance your familiarity with these tools. Any questions? Yes, we practice. A lot of assignments are there. Don't worry. We will give you
And
some.
will you be sharing the link for the report and all that we have to
Yeah. So the reports, right? The reports, everything, whatever we developed, also we'll share it to you. You can also start explore that, and first of all, I'll give you the assignment also. Probably you are. It's too early to give assignments, right? You need to understand the concepts, everything, and probably next week I will start giving you the assignments. Start work on the assignments also side by side. All right. So that can help you to understand the concepts well. Fine. Yeah. The links also will be shared. Don't worry. Okay. The report script, data set, everything will share. Data set and the report script, everything will be shared. You can start work on it. We'll start with the very simple dashboard, and gradually we will get into the moderate complex dashboard, and the very complex dashboard also we'll see it. Right? We have something called drill across is also there. Right? Drill through reports. How do you do that? Everything will show you. Don't worry. And DAX is the the functions, right? You need to understand when you are supposed to use, right? That is the one will take time for you guys to understand. Don't worry, I will reduce your learning curve by explaining everything in a layman term. All right. Fine. Since you don't have any more questions, I'm going to wrap up the session now. It's already 10:30, and what I will do is I will share the video and other links. Okay. Fine. Thanks.